Hi, Cancer, and welcome to your soul story, Twin Flame Past Life Tarot reading. The intention of this reading, Cancer, is to look at the past life between you and your twin flame, who you guys were, what your life path, spiritual path was, your twin flame journey, and then see how that plays into this lifetime. All right, Cancer? So I will read the divine masculine in this life on this side and the divine feminine in this life on this side. Now, if during the reading I feel that you guys were opposite genders in your past life, I will still refer, even if this was male in past life, I'm still going to refer to this as she and this as he, just for the sake of the reading, okay? So let's start off, Cancer, by pulling a card here to see who you guys were to each other, the primary energy that, existed within each of you towards the other, the relationship. Okay, so on the divine masculine, we have the Seven of Swords, and on the divine feminine, we have the Eight of Swords. So what I feel with this is, look at, we've got 7 and 8 going on here. And, Seven of Swords is all about deception, betrayal, dishonesty, lies, all of those things. And, I'm picking up a couple different things here, actually. I feel for some of you, this past life, the masculine was very deceptive. It could have even been like a thief type of energy, like I'm feeling that. And the divine feminine felt powerless, either, to help make him a better person, or she felt powerless to leave him, okay? Like, despite who and what he is, like, I just am forever with him, like, I can never leave him, is the energy. But then also, what I'm getting here, Cancer, is kind of a different storyline coming in, which hasn't happened in any of the other readings, but it's like where the feminine energy may have been very deceptive, a thief, and ended up in some sort of like jail or prison, something along those lines. Therefore, there was like separation and segregation between the two of you, okay? So let's take a look and see who you guys were in your past life. Okay, wow, that was 2 cards that just jumped right out. Okay, how perfect. So on the divine masculine side, we have Judgment. Wow. And on the divine feminine side, we have the Eight of Cups. Okay, so listen here, Cancer. Over on this side, this person, now whether this is who they were or not truly underneath, the projection to everybody who knew them and the way they wanted to be perceived was that of somebody very spiritual, very fair, very honest, those type of things. Even could be like somebody in law enforcement or the judicial system, or like politics, okay? But this particular person, very, very honest. So either that was a projection that the masculine, wanted everybody to think in past life, or that was truly the nature, and that's probably why I get these 2 different storylines coming through, okay? Because, definitely I do feel that some of you, the masculine was very deceptive, though he projected a whole different image. And for others of you, I feel that the feminine was deceptive, like more in a legal sense rather than towards the masculine. And it's like, because of who and what he was, like, there was no secrets there. Like, if she was doing things that were not right, like, he would have exposed her, okay, despite the love, despite the connection, because twin flames, there's much more going on there. There's much deeper lessons to be learned. And so for some of you, I definitely feel like, this masculine energy was a very straightforward, honest, fair, balanced person, and the feminine didn't really like lived a life in a much different caliber than him. And I kind of feel like this person was like went to jail or had to run off, go hide, like leave, walk away, where there was the segregation. Okay. And then for others of you, like I said, I feel that the masculine was very deceptive, projected something different entirely to everybody around him, and the feminine felt very powerless to leave, felt very powerless to explore her own life and, you know, do things that fulfilled her. It's like she had to always have the smiling face, like, because just with the judgment here, this masculine could have been in a position of power, okay, and therefore, just depending on the time frame in which this life took place, the feminine did not feel like that she had a voice or that she could be heard or that she could walk away. Like, she was very unfulfilled in this connection. Okay, so let's pull some more cards here to look at your spiritual paths in this lifetime that's coming through. All right, on the masculine, we have galactic family. And on the feminine, we have do the work. Okay, so with these two cards coming out, really speaking of like your spiritual paths, those of you where, man, this masculine, I really do feel like there's two storylines coming through in this reading. And maybe it's like one lifetime is what I'm speaking, and then another lifetime you guys shared is what's also coming through, you know, because this is your reading. It's about your twin flame journey through different lifetimes. And so for some of you, I feel like this is talking about two different lifetimes that you guys have shared. And the reason why they're both coming through so strong is because a lot of this is like the final resolution of it plays out this lifetime. Okay, so I'll just go back and forth between the two storylines. I know it's a little confusing. I'm sorry. I don't like when Spirit does that to me either, but I just got to go with, you know, the way the reading's going. So Cancer, first scenario where I feel the masculine is somebody who is very honest, in a position of power, like could be very religious, could be in the judicial system, the law system, politics, maybe even religious, could have been like a minister of a church or something along those lines. It's just this is like a very powerful energy. And with galactic family here, this when the masculine's coming through as this super honest energy, it's based upon his soul, like the roots of him, this I don't know, his spirituality really just comes through, and it's like he can't handle any sort of dishonesty and deception, even if it's at the sake of his beloved, okay? Because over here, with this story, do the work, it's like she was like put in prison, had to go away, ran away, and with do the work, it's like there was a lot that she's learning in this lifetime spiritually, and unfortunately her masculine is also inflicting that. Like, I almost feel like he betrayed her, like, because of her deceptive behavior, just whatever she was doing, whatever he found out, like the time frame that it was happening in. Like, I almost feel that he outed her, or spoke against her, like, because he's so honest over here, okay? Like, he had no choice. And all of that happened in that lifetime because the feminine signed up for a lot of hard spiritual lessons, okay? Now, with this other storyline where I feel it's kind of the energies are swapped, where the masculine is very deceptive but projects this entirely different persona, and the feminine feels very stuck and trapped in that and desires, you know, truth and light and to be free. In that lifetime, again, she's still learning a lot of soul lessons. Like, she's working on the growth and the expansion in that place. And again, her masculine is the greatest teacher for this, because with galactic family, even if he's very deceptive, it's like because he kind of gets away with it. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a grand trine of some kind in his chart where he's done a lot of positive work in previous lifetimes lifetimes, which shield him a bit from receiving the true karma owed to him, and that's why he's scandalous and acts the way he does, okay? So I do feel like 2 lifetimes, and it's almost like you guys swapped roles, swapped places. So I'm really curious to see what, you know, your twin flame journey this lifetime is about. So let's pull some past life cards specifically and see what comes out there for you guys. All right, so oh wow, yeah, imprisonment or slavery, right there. And you know what? I think this goes both ways. In one lifetime, I really feel that one of you was very deceptive and was put in like prison or something like that, jail. And then in the next lifetime, it's like somebody felt like a slave or very captive to the connection, like they couldn't get away just because of like circumstances or what was fitting at the time. And that card depicts both sides so perfectly. Next out is phobias. Okay, so this coming through right here is like a lot of what you guys experienced in past life with each other. Like there's residual fear-based imprints in you, in them, because some of this energy was really heavy for you both. So some of the phobias that you guys have, like fears around commitment, intimacy, connection, anything like that, is connected to past life. But also, you know, for being imprisoned, whether it was in an actual jail or just I'm unable to escape this marriage, it's like, man, whatever you experienced, whichever one of you this is speaking to, it's like there's phobias that exist in this lifetime because of like living in squalor or living in deep sadness, you know, things like that. Next out is Celtic. So this is giving you an idea of time frame or, you know, location. If you've been drawn into like Celtic imagery and symbols and, you know, different periods of time and different locations, then I highly recommend you dig much deeper, because that's part of the past between you and your twin flame and the journey that you guys have shared, okay? So let's see what your twin flame journey was like in this lifetime that's coming through. All right, so we have abandonment, and that would make sense with the storyline of where I feel the masculine betrayed the feminine when it came to like some sort of legal matters, just because of, you know, the integrity of who he was. And then on the other storyline where I feel the feminine, and you know what, it could have all been where I feel this feminine feels so oppressed. That could have been a life where it was a prearranged marriage, okay? That was kind of coming through to me, and that would make sense of slavery and these phobias that are coming through. So I really feel like what you two have been going through, you know, in several lifetimes here is some intense, challenging situations in physical form, and it's just really growing and transforming both of you at a soul level, like just crazy, okay? So with the abandonment, with the other where, you know, the feminine feels like she can't leave, like that's what she dreams, like to be away because she doesn't feel like she chose this, or like the masculine, it was not like a love connection in that lifetime, okay? It wasn't for whatever reason. And then this other lifetime that's coming through where the masculine betrays this feminine for some sort of like legal reason, man, that was intense as well. Like, you guys have been through a lot, but look at this, sacred love. No matter what, like the bond and love is there. Now, this though, for those of you where I feel this other story, the second story coming through, that's the sacred love to me is like, even though this may have been prearranged marriage, you know, forced, something like that, she would never ever leave, because despite the incompatibility with the physical avatars, there's at the soul like she never left him, she never ran away, because she felt that like connection, that contract at the soul level. And she just, that like she may not have understood it consciously, but it's like there was this pull, this gravity to this masculine. She'd never ever leave him, like no matter what. All right, unaligned intentions. That makes sense for both lifetimes coming through, where it wasn't a good deal on either side, like just either life, like it was, you guys have been really going through a lot of challenges. And look at this sacrifice. You know, the one who had to betray his feminine for her to go to jail, that was a huge sacrifice to him. And the feminine, who I feel didn't really want to be married and put into this relationship, like she feels like her whole life was sacrificed. And then lastly, we have crazy chemistry. So with that one coming out, you know, obviously the storyline where the masculine had to betray his feminine, you know, you guys had a good connection going on, okay? For the feminine, who was, I don't feel like really wanting to be in this connection, like just because of the oppression of it. I don't know what that's about. I feel like there was a lack of chemistry, like it's just because sacrifice and then chemistry. So I feel as though for her, she didn't feel like in love with her masculine. It was the connection of the soul, like that is what kept her here. And you know, the other storyline where the masculine had to betray his feminine for some legal reason, I just don't feel like he ever loved again or was with anybody for the rest of his days, because that was his true love. But whoever he was, it's like he had to let her go. It just had to be what it was. So let's see where this relationship left off. All right, so we have letting go. Yeah, look at that. I mean, for the masculine who had to betray his feminine, that was just as painful for him as it was for her. The other storyline, you know, I feel like it was a lifetime of trying to let go, but never really being able to. And look at this consciousness. So you guys are working on big, big soul lessons here these last few lifetimes. And I feel this lifetime is highly significant to what you guys have been working on. And look at this reward, 888. So there's meant to be some really good stuff that happens for the two of you when you are both in the right place and properly aligned for your twin flame union this lifetime. All right, so let's pull a card and see what the masculine's life path is this lifetime and what the feminine's life path is this time in this current life incarnation reality. All right, we have the Page of Pentacles for the masculine, and we have the Wheel of Fortune for the feminine. So the feminine, this lifetime, there is some wonderful things that are meant to happen and unfold for her, because she has been doing the work spiritually. All right, a lot of hard work. Now over here on the masculine side, it's pretty much like either he is younger than the feminine, he is more immature than the feminine this lifetime, or he is, what he's focused on for his like career lifestyle is a brand new skill to him, like that he has not been in a previous lifetime before. So it's like he's learning a new skill that's of the material world, okay? And that typically with Pentacles, that's going to be like your profession. So it's like he's walking a new path professionally this lifetime than he ever did, and that's highly significant to him, like a big focus for this masculine. And it's also, again, he's either more immature or younger than the feminine in this lifetime. Also, I feel like desires, no, I don't know, it's like mastering some skill in this lifetime. And now the feminine over here, she's lucky, okay? This reward, 888, and it's not to say bad things never happen, but there's some special magic and luck around her this lifetime just because of everything that she has been going through in previous lifetimes, all the soul work that she's been doing, okay? So let's see what the spiritual path is for both of you. All right, on the masculine, look at that spiritual lesson. So it's like the energy's shifting. Now he's going to be the one going through a lot of these crazy lessons that the feminine has already mastered. And she is coming through as crystals. So this is definitely a lifetime of healing and purifying, and the experiences at a soul level not being as intense, okay? It's not to say that she doesn't go through stuff, you know, life is life, but there is a reward. She could be very spiritually sensitive or gifted this lifetime because of all the work. There's just, she knows things intuitively, might be gifted with crystals or crystal Reiki, healing energy, all right? Crystals are highly significant for her and her energy. So I just feel this lifetime, feminine is in a different place. Like, life is supposed to go a bit smoother for her than masculine. He is now, it's like the stories have flocked here, and now he's beginning the challenging journey that she has already mastered, okay? Because he's coming through a spiritual lesson. She's already been there. So let's pull some cards to see what your twin flame journey looks like this lifetime. All right, so we have soulmate journey. We have 9 of ego energy. We have feminine of karmic energy. We have masculine of twin flames. And we have 4 of karmic energy. Okay, so listen, because this masculine is working on so many spiritual lessons this lifetime where the feminine has now mastered, it's almost as though she is the one who is very full of honesty and integrity, and I'm going to do it the right way, I'm going to do the right thing even if it hurts me. Like, that's her energy. So it's like the masculine, you know, in one lifetime was this like beautiful energy that she is now in this lifetime, okay? And then this other lifetime that is coming through where I feel the feminine felt incredibly oppressed or forced or unable to leave her masculine, okay? And now this lifetime, it's a lot different. This masculine is now the one who really, I mean, if he was deceptive and projecting that he wasn't in this past lifetime, it's like this lifetime, he could try to pretend like, but it's very obvious, okay? This feminine will always see right through him. There is a deep soul bond and connection, and with 9 of ego energy, there's this element of regret, and I feel like it's over here on the masculine. Why? Because there's this karmic relationship that the masculine chooses over his feminine in this lifetime, okay? And it brings him to a place of deep remorse and regret because, again, it's like it's swapped, and now the feminine is very mature and wise and grown and spiritual and true, and the masculine is coming through as this page, okay? So it's like he signed up to learn a lot of stuff this lifetime, and he's got to learn some of that through a karmic, okay? And I feel like that's you know, something that is part of your guys' journey. However, your bond never ever dissipates, and despite this, I just feel that when this masculine is removed from the feminine's life, it's to benefit her. It's for the highest good of her, Cancer, because just what he has to go through and understand, okay? Like karmic balancing from that lifetime of being very deceptive but projecting an entire different persona and image, okay? It's like it's time for him to reap all that energy and learn from it, what he put out. Now it's time for it to come back, and it's happening in this life. So when he's away from the feminine because he chooses a karmic, it's because he's going to work all that hairy, crazy energy out with the karmic, all right, which will ultimately change him. He will have regret, and you guys will eventually come back together because we have soulmate journey. So that's like, you know, forever the soul bond is there between the two of you this lifetime, all right? So those are your messages, Cancer. I'm wishing you all the best. Take care.